Hey everybody, it's Jeremy. Welcome back to Pathfinder, Wrath of the Righteous. This is our Beast Tamer Bard build, episode 105. Dear Lord Jesus. There's so much of this game. Something's going on though. Like, when I loaded in, I took a look around because I was trying to acclimate and try to remember what are we doing? Where do we want to go? Right? And look, the artisan grotto down here is showing that we've never been to this location. And that is bullshit. We just came from the artisan's, or grotto, artisan's tower. Why did I say, I combined artisan's tower and ashen grotto. So many paths, so little time. There are so many paths. Look, there are so many paths all over the place. All of the paths. Okay, anyways. Let us continue onwards. What are we continuing onwards with? Right, okay, we were going back to Dresden. We're going back to Dresden because there are events. Darren wants to speak to us privately. And there is a drunkard claiming that the commander is obliged to grant him audience. We need to do that, and then we also have something to do with, there's some quest at Dresden. Inform Irabeth of the victory. Wait for the result. Inform Irabeth of the victory. Not sure what that's about. Let's check our Crusaders first. The Hell Knights here, we wanted to recruit. No, basically good there. We want to take this force and swap it around here, and we want to send this force out to reinforce the Shadowhawks. How are you doing tonight, Jay, by the way? The rest of that, I think, is fine. The Shadowhawks will try to meet this demon army. So I think they can just hold here for now. Or, sorry, the Hell Knights. Shadowhawks. Yeah, I think we're gonna... Whoop, whoop. Yeah. I've got too many save situations. I've talked about this before, but I've got like so many different. This button is the save button. This button is the load button. Like all over the place. What the fuck is that? Painagi? Blow through. What the fuck? Phantasmal Killer. Demons of Nightmares. That seems unacceptable. I want to Scorching Ray that guy. Nice. Nice. Very nice. Stay back a little bit. Ugh. Fucking charge. Fucking axe throwers. Shoot him. Get him. Let's do a Smite Evil. Charge his ass. Hey, how's it going, Insult? How are you doing tonight? I kind of want to just play like some Heroes of Might and Magic. I need to do that for a Oh my god! He just kicked my champion's ass. Ooh boy. That's no bueno. That heal him? Holy shit. That was aggressive. Very weak now, so we should be fine. That demon, that was weird. It had like squiggly legs or something like that. Like, I didn't see feet. Strange. The monsters that opposed the Crusaders were truly abominable. Their bodies manifested weird mutations, extra eyes, unpaired limbs, mouths in their bellies, and withered half-grown heads, helplessly dangling on their shoulders. The leader of this heinous cohort was just a pile of moving flesh who struggled to retain its humanoid appearance. Even as it died, it continued to stir a monstrous brew in a large, rotund cauldron. Shuddering with disgust, the Crusaders peered inside the cauldron and managed to retrieve some of its hideous contents. Chunks of bodies belonging to demons, mortals, and other unknown creatures, twitching convulsively, still alive. The soldiers did not know what to do with this vile trophy, and delivered it to the commander. What the fuck? The mage Zymus was a famous adventurer and wicked fighter. His feats, now seldom recalled, were as countless as his scars. Zymus was not driven by thirst for fame, but by a rare sense of responsibility inherent to his nature. Therefore, the day when the brave mage lost his arm in a fight with a werewolf became his tragedy. How could he, so strong and solid, retire now when so many still needed his help? Without a second thought, Zymus took an arm from a fallen enemy to replace his own. Thus, his decline began. For years, again and again, Zymus took the limbs of defeated enemies to heal his wounds. Zymus turned from a hero into a monster. It was rumored that there was no actual flesh left of the body he had been born with. First, Zymus was shunned, then driven away, and finally declared a monster. The mage fled into the wasteland to become an ominous legend people scare their children with. Dippin' dippin'! He roll. He roll. Oh, he kitty roll. Alright, so we have a voracious jumble. I have no idea what the fuck we're supposed to do with that. But okay. Hey, and we've leveled. Nice. Okay, what do we get? Experienced Traveler. Restores 10 additional movement points every day per level of the feat and has plus 10 movement points. So, gets to move 50 per day rather than 40. That's pretty cool. Master of Maneuver 2 increases the maximum size of the army by 1 unit per level of the feat. So we currently have a 4-unit army, would go up to a 5-unit army. That's pretty neat. Outflank. Flanking grants a +4 bonus to attack instead of a +2 bonus. Hey, hey. What are you doing, sir? You digging? You fighting? You digging fighting? You a bad boy? And then we have Salvage. Defeating an army adds 1,000 finance points. That's interesting, but I don't know. Oh, guaranteed ability. We get Summon Elementals. Summons 3+ power elementals. The type of elementals is chosen randomly. 3+ power. We have a... What? We have a lot of power. That seems strange. Seems quite strange. I kind of want to go with Master of Maneuver, I think. Just a larger, more competent army seems like a good idea. Okay, we can't get over to that yet. I think we're just gonna head towards our reinforcements. Okay. No idea what we want to do as far as this goes. I don't really want to weaken this army. I need to be able to recruit more people. That was basically an investment, not something that we're gonna not something that we're gonna make use of immediately. All right, back to Dresden. Manage Dresden. We're gonna do at least 2 events here. Oh, not what I meant to do. I'm actually specifically looking to maybe see about something new recruitment buildings, basically. Little. Reduces the cost of recruiting mercenary units by 5%. Interesting. Aha. Main stables allows recruitment of and provide weekly recruitment growth for mounted scouts, paladins, cuirassiers, hedge knights, raiders, and light cavalry if available. Increases the number of available mercenary units by 1. Pathfinder Lodge. Patient Circle, Watchtower. So it legitimately does look like the main stables is the only thing that we can do immediately. Arsenal, main barracks. Gotcha. Okay, well that means we can't build anything that is relevant to us at this particular moment. Man, our ability to like construct stuff is really slow in the game. Okay, we want to enter Citadel. Did you just drive away the Lippo, Odie boy? Aw, that poor Lippin Dippin. She has been driven from her throne, and now she sits there. You and Otis? Odotus? Alright, Daeron looks the merest trifle more serious than usual. Hey Jack, we need to talk. Under strictest confidence. I'm going to invite you to not a date. Yes, you heard me correctly. Not a date. If, by some chance, you imagine to see wine, cushions, and treats laid out before you, you should know that it is merely an optical illusion. Okay. Actually have some free time for a not a date. I'm gonna go with number 1. I wanna come on. What's up, Daeron? First you give me roses that have nothing to do with courting me. Then you run me a bath under the pretext of the commander needs to wash. And now this? Exactly. I'm obviously not interested in you. I am making no attempts to impress you, and I am definitely not trying to demonstrate any affection for you. Don't you believe me? Okay. We've been cornered. So we have to either go for a not a date or flat out reject him. We're gonna go for the not a date. Because I don't want to flat out reject Daeron. I like Daeron. I am trying to I don't know, play I don't know how romance works in this game, so I have no idea if I shut out my other options by picking one, but we'll see. Daeron offers his hand to you gallantly. Allow me, my lord. Awesome. Let's do it. Cat hair floating all over my face. Otis Babodis, you've done this to me. The longer he spends alone with you, the more Daeron seems to shed his usual acerbity. That one's always a mouthful. His hair is tousled and the ties on his shirt have been loosened. He sits back, looking completely at ease, while his hands are lively and elegantly expressive, punctuating his speech. So, here we are, alone, at this utterly insignificant, tedious business meeting. Would you be so kind as to suggest a conversation starter? We need something boring and practical to talk about. Boring and practical as, is not exactly my forte. Oh. I want to be like, alright, hit him with that poetry. But poetry isn't boring at all. On the contrary, it can be quite sensual. No, that is not a suitable topic for our not-a-date. I see what you're about. You meant dreadful patriotic poems. Annually, Mendev produces unbelievable amounts of that kind of abominable dross. Once, I managed to get my hands on one example of such a poem and tried to count how many times the author used the word unbroken. I stopped counting once I hit 37. Yes, that travesty is exactly what the occasion calls for. I stand ready to recite it. I estimate it will take 1 to 2 hours. Wow. Daeron's eyes sparkle teasingly. Are you absolutely positive you don't want me to stop now? Oh no. We can seal it feels like we can seal the deal, right? Or we can not, or we can just like flat out end. I'm gonna go the toe the line route. Smile wickedly. You drove yourself into this trap. Now you must continue. Oh yes, I did drive myself into this trap. Daeron looks directly into your eyes. My thoughts are all adrift. I guess I shan't be able to maintain a boring conversation. It is beyond me. He moves closer, just a little, and takes your hand. I wonder if I shall come to regret this. You're dangerous. I know it. Ooh. Which route? I like the threatening one, right? I like number 2. If you try to pass this off as another one of your jokes, I'll send you back to Mendev immediately on a donkey, stark naked. I like that one. Threats and passion. For some reason, I find this combination highly attractive. Daeron removes your hand from his face, but he doesn't move back. Instead, he leans forward as if for a kiss. Hey! Okay. I mean, I'm happy. I like Daeron. Again, I don't know if that's... Uh-oh. Inexplicable power lies in the force that draws mortal bodies and souls to each other. If there was a way to measure it and compare it to other forces in the universe, it could prove to be comparable with gravity between the planets. But this force is as fragile as it is mighty. Sometimes its emergence can lead to unexpected and irreversible consequences. Day 6, month Neth. 11? Year 4715. Wow. Night falls, and with it, the commander drifts off into a deep sleep. He dreams. He sees himself from outside his body. Himself and Daeron. The two lie next to each other, their hands joined, their breathing slow and deep. The young count's hair gleams with a soft golden glow, almost invisible in the light of day, but in the dark of night it is unmistakable and bewitching. Then the commander realizes is that okay, that's a mistake. That's definitely a typo. Then the commander realizes that he is not simply seeing himself from the outside in this dream. He is seeing himself through someone else's eyes. Someone is near. They are watching from the darkness, watching closely, but indifferently. Or perhaps the commander can sense only the gaze, but not the emotions of the invisible observer. The observer's attention is fixed on the naked bodies. The observer does not move. Shit. So on one hand, if it's like an assassin or something like that, like, I want to wake up. I want to protect myself and Dayron, right? But if it's not an assassin, if it's that whatever creature, whatever thing, right, has Dayron bound or is bound to Dayron, if it's that thing, then I kind of want to stay in the dream and try to sense more about it. And I'm leaning more towards that second one, right? And it's because of the indifferently kind of concept. So let's try that direction. We let the strange vision take over. The hours of night drag on, and nothing changes. The couple continues to sleep, exhausted from lovemaking. Someone is watching. Only at the very break of dawn, when Dayron turns over with a slight sigh, slowly coming up to wakefulness, does the dream loosen its grip. That definitely makes me feel like it's the thing, like Dayron's passenger regarding us. Interesting. Very interesting. Okay. How's it going, Dayron? You know what I've been thinking? Dayron is battling his tousled hair, trying to make it look at least slightly tidy. Perhaps this crusade isn't so bad after all. At least, I feel much happier now than I did back in my hedonistic days in Canabras. What a horrible thought. I feel like I'm betraying my ideals just saying it. I'm gonna approach him about the dream. No, I had a dream about the two of us. Indeed. I bet it was something rather tender. Or perhaps something exhilarating? Ooh, we could be vague. Try to, like... In the dream, a great danger was looming over you. I was there for you, ready to help you no matter what. Dayron is watching with a slightly surprised look on his face. A spark of understanding flickers in his eyes for a moment and disappears. Finally, he smiles gracefully. How courteous of you to guard me even in slumber. So I remember talking, like, when we went through his whole, like, villa scenario, and we talked to the guy, the investigator. There was that scenario of we can't let the thing know, because if the thing knows, right, all hell's gonna break loose. So, I think this exchange is really interesting. The spark of understanding flickers in his eyes for a moment. That's really cool for Dayron to be like, hold up. But it might not mean as much as it seems, right? Like, I'm interested to see where this goes, basically. And I'll say I hope that this not a date won't be our last. Well, I can't promise that one day I shan't run away to Kalesh with a gang of handsome smugglers. But until that day comes, I am at your full disposal. Okay. We shall leave. Alright, and now we are approached by Lady Konomi. Commander, upon hearing word of your victory in the Battle of Dresden, many leaders in Avestan have considered taking a more active supporting role in the crusade. Fighting demons in the name of saving the world is a prestigious endeavor, especially when the war is going well. The one whose help is accepted first will increase their standing in the political arena, which is why the powers are now competing for the right to conclude an alliance with Mindev before their rivals do. Nerosian has already chosen which of them is to be favored, Isger. We have been building an alliance with that nation for a long time, and now the capital is expecting you to address the steward of Isger with an official offer to support you. Lastwall is Mindev's most trusted ally. If we were to ask someone for support, it should be them, the Shining Crusade. What say we invite the Sword Lords of Brevoy to this party? The righteous Mendevian knights just love those hot-headed provincials who'll draw their weapons and challenge you to a duel at the drop of a hat. And get this, they win such duels. Nerosian will be ecstatic to have allies like these, and I hope the demons will enjoy their company as well. Just a note, we happen to have a neighbor who's got barely any presence in the crusade. I'm talking about Numeria. It's believed to be too wild and barbaric to have any dealings with. How about we show everyone how wild and barbaric tribes can fight, and invite them to play a bigger part in our war? Wow, we have 50,000 people weighing in on this topic, apparently. Jeez. Everyone who wanted to come because they listened to their heart are already here. Time to call those who will listen to their purse. We'll drop a line to the Varisian cities, tempt them with some nice spoils, and loads of savvy folk will come running. Wow, we've got so many options here. Why does Nerosian decide whose help I should accept? Because you are, with all due respect, one of Her Majesty's subjects. Lady Konomi's voice grows sterner, but after a moment subsides into a more confiding tone. And because it took great effort for Mindev's diplomatic corps to win Isger over and ensure you would receive their help. Are you confident that the allies you choose yourself will be as reliable? Why can't we call everyone for help? I wish we could, but we can't. The Chelaxians and their colonies can't stand the Andorrans. Molthun is at war with Nirmathos. Nidal and Lastwall are at daggers drawn, and all of them envy the wealth of Absalom, protest against the godlessness of Druma, and fear the revolutionary plague of Galt. They can tolerate each other in small doses, but an official letter from the commander summoning one of the nations to assist the crusade will lead to, shall we say, an eruption of toxic volcanoes across half the courts of Avestan. So I'm afraid you will have to choose which of your allies is most desirable to you. What's Woljif doing on the night? What's Woljif doing on this council? I doubt he knows anything about politics and diplomacy. I can see that this tiefling possesses a keen mind and the most important trait in politics, a complete lack of conscience. He would make a terrible leader, but he'll prove useful to you as an advisor. Yep, I traded my conscience for a cherry roll back when I was a kid. What do you mean terrible? Let's see what the council has to say. Turned silken and somewhat condescending. Commander, we both realize that Mindev's political interests lie beyond the competence of this council. The decision has already been made in the capital. Nerosian has shown courtesy and concern for your authority by allowing you to implement the decision yourself. Sorceresses. I trust my own council more than the royal council. Indeed, what could Her Majesty's most loyal servants possibly know about diplomacy? Let us listen to the council. Socio, why do you suggest we accept Lastwall's aid? The Shining Crusade of Lastwall and Mindev have much in common. We protect Golarion from demons. They fight the undead and the legacy of Tar Baphon, the Whispering Tyrant. Like us, Last folk are used to eternal war. They are persistent, vigilant, and know how to oppose baleful magic. Their swords will aid us on the front lines, and the watchful eye of their inquisitors will do us much good on the home front, where the spies of the Ivory Labyrinth roam. Woljif grimaces in annoyance. Yeah, we clearly don't have enough of our own righteous boars. Let's bring some more from Lastwall. War dogs and snobs, the lot of them. They'll barge in here and demand that everyone toe the line. Alright, Dayron, what benefit do the Sword Lords offer us? A whole slew of benefits. We'll see some fresh blood in this war. Poke the oh-so-formal Nerosian with a stick. Recruit excellent fighters, proud as peacocks, just begging for a chance to prove themselves. And besides, this alliance can be easily arranged. Dayron smiles wistfully. I used to take private fencing lessons from a certain sellsword of high standing. Fencing didn't work out, but her lesson was gorgeous. Wow. Wow, Dayron. Dayron, isn't this going a little far? We can't make decisions of such importance just because you had an affair with a Bravan. That's fair. Lon, do you think Numeria will join us? We treat them as equals, they will. They may be barbarians by the standards of lands like Mindev, but nobody can call them cowards. And many of them are descendants from the Sarkorians who fled to their Kelid kin in Numeria. We'll remind them about the time they were wronged by the demons, and whole clans of Avengers will answer the call. That's interesting. Lan, you are so passionate about finding new friends. Together you will, let's see, sit by the bonfire, play some dissonant musical instruments, pick your teeth with knives. What else do savages do for fun? Got some fucking infighting, lads. We dance around naked, obviously. Sorry I can't bring you along. They'll make fun of me for having such a scrawny friend. Shots fired. There's a reason why Numeria hasn't been invited to join the Crusade. Needless to say, I personally do not share this prejudice against them, but not all sovereigns of Avestan feel the same way. Some will find it beneath them to be involved in the same crusade as barbarians. Isn't the issue not with Numeria's barbarism, but the, like, human sacrifice and slavery that they do? I can't remember if that's the right place or not, but isn't that the place that basically, like, the machine lords and they fucking, like, just have droves of human slaves? It's like, bad, no good. Woljif, tell me more about the advantages of a partnership with Varisia. Varisia is a real frontier, the land of the free. Adventurers of all stripes go there to seek their fortune. The sailors that aren't scared of going after sea dragons and krakens, and the thugs. They're not scared of anyone or anything whatsoever. Those daredevils fear no demon. That's exactly the kind of guts we need. Are we looking for allies or henchmen? Even I'm aware that Varisia is a realm of gangs and self-willed despotism. I just crawled out from under a rock, you know. Alright, Lady Konomi, what sort of help can we expect from Iskir? Iskir is a nation locked in constant territorial struggle with goblin tribes. Countless battles have tempered their army, taught them not to fear losses, and granted experience in both the military craft and the cultivation of untamed lands. Their formidable combat sorcerers would be of great use to Dresden. Would you not agree? Actually, that does sound pretty cool. Pachoo! Woo! Love you. There is, however, another reason to pursue an alliance with them. Isgir is a protectorate of Cheliax, and with such a mighty patron at their back, they have no shortage of resources or troops. By establishing friendly relations with Isgir, we can strengthen our ties with a powerful neighbor to the south. The value of such an alliance is indisputable. Lady Konomi, I have no doubt that only your innate modesty forbids you from mentioning the innumerable bribes received by Nerosian diplomats for facilitating this alliance. I imagine Cheliax was most generous. However, among the funds that make their way into our army's coffers, I could not spot a single coin of Chelaxian mintage. So, why should we help you? I want an answer to that. I want a fucking response to that. Holy shit. That is a great statement. Inquisitors. Ooh. They have Divine Favor, Spellcaster Slayer. Cool. Duelists. Harry and Riposte. 20% chance to ignore an enemy attack directed at it or an adjacent allied unit, plus to make a counterattack. Interesting. Very cool. Looks pretty nice. Barbarians. Battering Ram. +1 bonus to attack until the end of round for every 2 squares. Gotcha. Cool. Oh, it's a cavalry unit. Gotcha. Rogues. Cunning and lightly armed soldiers who prefer the underhand tactics of rear attacks to charging the enemy head-on. Multi-attack basically is the only thing they have. Sorcerers. Spellcasters who compensate for their lack of proper magical education with exceptional natural abilities. So magic missiles. I think I'm going to go the sorcerer route. That sounds fun, right? Plus, it is the route that, you know, Konomi is kind of like twisting her arm on. Yeah. Your wisdom never fails you. Neurosian will be pleased to know you're not squandering allies whom they've taken such pains to attract. The battle sorcerers of Isgir, hardened in the clashes with goblins, will serve you well. I won't detain you any longer, Commander. When matters of foreign or domestic politics once again require your attention, I will convene the Diplomatic Council. Okay, then. Hail, Commander. Captain Harmattan salutes. Permission to report. Although the desertion has been halted, not everyone appreciated your methods. A circle of discontents formed within the officers' ranks, calling themselves the Wary. There are no blatant signs of sedition, otherwise they would have been arrested. Still, their talk is concerning. We can't rely on them. We need our own trusted officers. I suggest enlisting some of the volunteers. We get some very capable fighters among fresh blood every day, the kind that could be made sergeant straight away. We need those who know the meaning of honor. We'll call paladins and knights from reputable orders, and they'll serve as an example to our soldiers, boosting everyone's morale too. Officers who are unworthy of their ranks can always be replaced. We can identify experienced sergeants with reliable records of results, then promote them. Mindev is full of promising youths who are overlooked when their seniors were promoted to serve in your army. We can call them here, award them rank, and they'll be grateful to us until the end of their days. Okay, why are these wary unsatisfied? We raised the privates' pay and gave them enhanced rations, with expected results. Unfortunately, some of the officers felt themselves deprived of these benefits. They're now spreading dangerous ideas. Why didn't we just give everyone enhanced rations and pay? Right? Like... So, I'm assuming the main bulk are privates. So if we were willing to do the main bulk, why not also do the top of the pyramid? Like, just give everyone more shit. So they were expecting bribes? The opportunists. I did warn you. Elites always take offense when gifts and affections of the authorities are directed to someone else. And one more thing. I apologize if this sounds disrespectful, but these are the sentiments within the ranks. For an entire century, the Queen was the face of the crusade. Even though she personally appointed you as commander, many still consider you an upstart unworthy of the high title. Many officers and soldiers dream of Her Majesty taking the lead. Let's discuss further options. As you command. Tila, what's your plan? We need the most honorable, loyal officers. Where else can we find them but among the chivalric orders of paladins? We'll invite valiant knights to Dresden and make them officers. They are the best hope for a Crusader army. That sounds fabulous. But there's just one tiny little problem. Who do you think has been filling these positions until now? Did it truly not cross my dearest cousin's mind to recruit your favorite paragons of honor and faith as officers? Your proposal is to repeat exactly the same thing that's been going on without you for the last 100 years. That's a fair point. Regil, what do you suggest? Appointing officers from the outside is a mistake. We should move our most distinguished privates up the ranks. The troops will be more eager to trust their former comrades and try to climb the ladders themselves. Of course, these officers will also prove more loyal than newcomers invited from who knows where. I actually am for once in agreement with Regil on this. Like, that's a solid fucking thought process. There's some truth to that, too. I became who I am by making it all the way from a thief to a paladin. But soldiers need not just generals, but mentors, too. They need officers who embody honor and bravery, showing the true meaning of those virtues, as someone once showed me. Darren, your opinion? There are plenty of ambitious young men and women in Mendev waiting for the chance to prove themselves. They'll move mountains for whomever gives them this chance. The aspirations of hot-headed youth are the best fuel for war. Sure, why don't we invite some privileged youths as our officers? Gamblers, status seekers, fops, and brilliant poets underappreciated by the masses. That's what's been missing in our commanding ranks. That's not what he means, but fair. I can see that the Count misses the high life dearly, and would like to invite along the entirety of the capital's leisure class to join him in carousing. I can't stop him, though he can invite them to his heart's content, but not to serve here as officers. That's kind of fair. Captain Harmon, what would you advise? There are volunteers arriving every day, with some quite capable people in their midst. I wasn't a rookie when I joined the Crusade, after all. I had 100 years of military experience. We can rely on these new leaders to replenish our command staff. Should we entrust the lives of our soldiers to strangers? I'm not so sure. Thank you. Alright, let's see what we got. Highest officers. Infirmary size increased by 10%. All generals gain +1 level to the Striving for Distinction. Ah! So general has a 10% bonus to gain experience points per level of this feat. That's interesting. I do like that. Darren. What do we got? +1 level to Master of Maneuver? Oh no, that's actually good. Oh shit, Darren. And Harmatan has all generals gain the Heroic Officers, so all units have +5 bonus to combat morale. Is pretty good. I think I'm actually going to go with Regil, though. I do like Regil's line of reasoning for once. It does make a lot of sense to me. Promoting, if you have troubles with your officers currently, in response to the fact that you did something for your privates, then promoting the best of the private class up into some of those officer positions is going to show, one, those officers need to shut the fuck up and get the fuck on board, or else they're out, right? And two, it shows the privates that you mean business, right? Like, you are going to reward them for, you know, sacrificing everything and striving. So I do like that. I think so I like the reasoning. I also like the mechanical benefit, because I'm a sucker when it comes to like experience gain builds. Like, I love doing, you know, builds where it's like Battle Brothers, right? Like, you take the experience feat at first and you get an extra point at the very end. It's just fun, you know, to be like, I'm gonna sacrifice what is potentially a stat boost, right, or another skill, in order to progress through the ranks faster. So I think that's pretty cool. Let's do that. Certainly, I already have the list prepared. I can present it immediately to those who have excelled, so that those who have excelled can be fairly rewarded for their performance. I hope that these measures will solve the issue at hand. If we have further complications, I will call another council at once. That's neat. I like that. Hey! Aberdeen. Okay, this is the drunk, I'm assuming. Maybe? You see a Kelid, around 50 years old, dressed in a doublet that looks older than its owner. Once it may have been expensive, but now it is worn and patched. A scabbardless sword hangs on his belt, covered in such a thick layer of rust that it looks more like a club. His flushed, swollen face, spongy nose, and the dark circles beneath his eyes suggest that he is a heavy drinker. When he opens his mouth to speak, your suspicion is confirmed by the stench of stale alcohol on his breath. You like cooing at Lippo over there? You've been talking to her for the last few minutes? Lippin' dippin', she talking to you? Just a bug. He says, I scratch. Get her. no, you're not bothering me. I just heard you, and I was like, is she talking to that bug? And then you kept talking to that bug, and I'm like, she talking to that bug. That buggy. Don't light a cigarette around him, he might explode. Ooh, my God, if you got that much alcohol in your system, I think you're already dead. So you're the commander, huh? Cozy little place you got yourself here. All these walls, polished furniture, solid, commendable. I think I'll give you a medal for this. A medal? You're too kind. Don't mention it. I'm a generous soul. But I'm also fair. I dish out medals and I punish as I please. Who am I? Not just your average citizen. The man groans as he straightens up, affecting a proud, noble bearing insofar as his decrepitude allows. You will be pleased to know that I am Thaberdine Quintissimus Hierophantel, rightful heir to the throne of Iz and all Sarkoris. Wow. That's one of the potential ways to die in this old point-and-click adventure game called Deja Vu 2. You have so much, like, alcohol in you that a lit cigarette blows you up? That is crazy. That's like, whoa! Oh. Everyone knows that no king has ever ruled over all Sarkoris, and there is no throne in Iz. How would you know? Have you been to Iz? Have you seen it with your own eyes? You haven't? And if you haven't, maybe there was one. My pops used to tell me about the throne in the palace. It was gold all over, and it was encrusted with all manner of crusty things. Like diamonds and fire ants and rubies and buboes. Couldn't take your eyes off it. Some of those things do not, like, go together. That's what kind of throne it was. That's all mine. Mine by right. Okay. Almost, you run into a drunk bum who asks for a light, and it's best if you refuse. Wow. Interesting. This guy is not the heir to the throne, but the Wizard of Iz. He could be. I'm fine. Okay, sure. Can you prove your claim to the throne? Of course! We aren't just swindlers, we have all the evidence. Here, look. He takes the rusty sword from his belt and shows you the hilt, which features a nearly worn-off golden crest. The grinning animal it depicts most closely resembles a shabby What? Here, the royal Smilodon is the ancient symbol of the rulers of Sarkoris. I also got a wart on my chest, in the shape of a crown. Of course I'm the heir to the throne. I want to just give this guy the throne, actually. For those of you who don't believe me, well, then get lost. That's what I say. Let them go to Pelura's Fall, where all the kings of Sarkoris are buried. There my entire family tree has been written in stone. Go, read for yourself. Alright, where's that? I'll do it. You deaf or what? You drink a pine needle infusion. It'll do wonder for your ears. Your eyes, too. I'm telling you, all the dead Sarkorian kings are in the ground there. In mausoleums, tomb burials, and whatchamacallits. Oh, obelisks. Right. It's all written there about my ancestors. Me too. Go look. Everything will make sense. With every law of the land, I'm king. Alright, what do you think you're entitled to? Oh no! I can only do it if it's a trickster. No! We're simple people! We don't mean much. No, hold up. That's not what I meant. We aren't simple people at all. We need a great deal. A king's palace, throne, lands. I can all wait until you take back Iz and make the demons leave. As for now, I wouldn't mind having King's residence here in Dresden. Place to sleep. And some hot food. Be a nice start. I totally want to... I'm betting with the Trickster's Path, you could actually be like, okie dokie. We'll give you a place to stay and some hot food. Let's go. Right? Like, that sounds like so much fun. Oh my god. Okay. I only have the one option to continue, so please throw this imposter out. Some commander you are. I don't want to. I would rather entertain you, but you know, it is what it is. We'll have to do a trickster playthrough at some point. Crusader Affairs. Let's see what we've got going on. If there's anything new that we can do. Strengthening the chain of command. Gotcha. Staff request. Okay, we did that. War wears down soldiers. Chain of command of the Crusade has been strengthened. The staff council requests the Crusade leader attend their meeting and receive an update report. Okay, we need to do that then. Decrees. Those who do not seek to know their enemies and fail to forge new paths to victory will inevitably fall. The secret of success lies in officers' steadfast focus on strategy, the ability to learn from past experiences, and the preparation of soldiers for future battle. Guild craftsmen can do some work on the relic. Ransom from the Mountain Kings. Gotcha. Economy, we're doing the Royal Parade already. Command. Distributing provisions among the Crusaders will boost their morale and show the commander cares about his soldiers. Morale is already very high. I don't feel like I need to do this. Repeatable decree. Okay, so yeah, this is something that I don't need to do. I'm at max. So. And it costs material points, so I definitely don't want to do that. Okay. Is it gonna immediately go back into this thing? And fuzzled. It did not. Okay, well, we'll have to check into that and see what's going on. That is going to be the end of this video, though. If you were watching on Twitch, stick around. We're going to keep playing. If you're watching on YouTube, I hope you enjoyed, and we will see you next time for more Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous. I almost said like 15 other things. Bye-bye, everybody. Oh, shit.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, consider leaving a like, commenting, or subscribing. It really helps me out. If you'd like to see me live, head over to my Twitch at twitch.tv/thedistanthorizon.